everyone, welcome back to the lineup predictions here on the Magpie Channel TV. Burnley at home tomorrow, and boy, I'm not looking forward to it. If you haven't already seen the match preview me and Renty posted, just went up last night, go check that out. We're not overly optimistic about this one, to be honest. Burnley's 5 games unbeaten in the league, 3-0 last week against Bournemouth. They're sitting in 10th now, 6 points ahead of what we are. We're in 14th. We need to start picking up points against these teams to start pushing up the league, man. We've already dropped to Crystal Palace, Arsenal and Norwich in recent weeks. And we've got like the likes of Bournemouth and Brighton and Watford around where that we really need to start picking points up. But finally, Brucey's seen a little bit of light, and it seems like he's going to change the formation. So this one's going to be tricky, to be honest. What he said this morning in his presser, he said, the squad's been working on new formations in training this week, and he's indicated that they're going to move away from 5 at the back in a bid to score more goals. Hallelujah. It's about time. Honestly, man. We haven't scored Premier League goals since Lejeune's equaliser against Everton. Like, that was over a month ago or something like that. Like, I'm sick of the way things have been going at the minute. Like, honestly, I'm in no hurry to get to St James's tomorrow. Like, I really can't even be asked to go. Like, Burnley, like, I fucking hate them, man. You know, I've got this vendetta since the away game in December. Like, that was a shit show. We got beat 1-0 down at Turf Moor in December. One of the worst games I've ever been to in my life. One of the worst experiences of my life. Like, never like it. But I've had a look around some different formations, and I'll show you a couple that I've devised, because this is honestly really one of the hardest lineups I've ever had to do, because we usually stick to the same formation, and now the formation we're going to play week in, week out, 5-2-3, piece of piss, then just fill in the missing pieces. But I don't know the formation. I've drawn up 3 potential ones. I'll talk you through them once we go through who's in. Apparently there's 20 players available as well. This is a first for me. It's been a long time since I've had 20 players to pick from. Usually that's another one. Like, it's literally just filling in the pieces. Same formation, about 18 players at best that we've got to choose from. But now we've got a little bit of option. There's some players out. Obviously, Valentino Lazaro suspended after his red card last week. Emil Kraft's still going to be out for a couple of weeks. Andy Carroll, surprisingly, is not going to make it yet. Kieran Clark, the big news this week, announced yesterday that he's going to be out for the rest of the season, along with Paul Dummett and Jetro Willems. That's a massive shame, because Clark's been class this season. He's had a really, really good season. It's a massive kick in the teeth, that, to be fair. But if we're going to narrow down the defence from 3 at the back to 2, hopefully it'll not really matter too much. We'll start the season with 6 centre-backs. Now we're down to 4, with Clark and Dummett being out. But hopefully these 4, who we've got Lascelles, Shaw, Fernandez and Lejeune, can tick over till the rest of the season if we're going to play 4 at the back, 2 centre-backs. Christy Natsu, I'm not too sure about. He missed last week with an illness. He was just sick, apparently. But nothing was mentioned about Atsu, so he may be in, may be out, unless it's the coronavirus. I didn't really know what that illnesses take longer than a week to recover from, but fuck knows. Manquillo's back. Manquillo hasn't played a game since New Year's Day in the game against Leicester, where absolutely everyone got injured. And John Joe Shelby's trained for the last 10 days or so and comes into contention. So that's good news. I'll go through what I've picked up. Right, yeah, I'll get into it. I'll show you this formation that I've got, and I like the 4-3-3. This is what I'm hopeful for anyway. This team, a few of the players are more hopeful. My next 2 that I'll go through are probably what's most likely. So I'm going to go for this 4-3-3. I'm going to go through it quite quickly. I'm just going to bash in the defence here. For me, Yedlin at right back due to Manquillo just coming back, and obviously Kraft still being out and Lazaro suspended. Don't want to rush Manquillo back in too quickly. I think he'll be a better right back option. I think Yedlin's better out wide as a wing back if we're going to play the 5 at the back, stretched across, more inclination to get forward. I think Manquillo would be a better option, but due to just coming back, we're just going to have to stick with Yedlin for now. And Danny Rose, likewise, but the opposite. Like, Danny Rose is a better left back. I think he's used to playing 4 at the back. He's played like that for England a lot, and now England's changed up a little bit in the recent years, but particularly for Tottenham, like, they play 4 at the back. and Danny Rose has been one of the best left-backs in the league for many a year now. He's not fully match fit, and playing him on the wing where he's more inclined to push forward, I don't think he can do it. He hasn't got the fitness, he hasn't played a game, he hasn't started a game in the Premier League for Tottenham this season. He's about 8 months deep from playing first team football, really. So his fitness just hasn't really been there. I think he's put on a little bit of weight, and he's struggling to create an option, particularly when St Maximin's the one he's trying to overlap and work with. It's just not really working out. So maybe left back is a better position for him. We'll see the best out of him. I think he is solid defensively. Like, he is good at going forward. Like, he's chipped in with a lot of assists in the last few years for Tottenham. But I think it's his defensive work that really makes him stand out. So hopefully we can start seeing the best out of Danny Rose, and hopefully he's been working on his fitness and training. At the back for me, Lascelles is a given. He's maybe not our best defender. He's not our most consistent. If we were picking best defenders, I probably wouldn't put Lascelles in, to be honest, but he's the captain. And what he brings to the team with his leadership, it's really second to none. I think in that spell, we missed him about like November at the Christmas time. I think he came back just after New Year. I think we really, really missed him because Richie was out as well. And Lascelles and Richie are the only actual leaders in the team, the only one that's actually going to tell you what to do and actually give a bit of instruction. So with them two out, we really, really missed them. Like, we're a piece missing at the back when Lascelles wasn't there. Like I say, he's not even our best defender, but you can tell that his presence was absent, and he's a really integral part of this team. Alongside him, Shaw, again, another one who hasn't really had the best of seasons, but he probably is our best defender on paper, best centre-back. He just won the North East Award, didn't he? Best Player of the Year in the North East. I'm not sure how much he deserved it from this season, to be honest. Like, last season, definitely. He was one of our best players last season. I think we were asking fans, between me and Renty, we chose Shaw and Rondon as our players of last season. But yeah, I would definitely still stick with Shaw. At least he's more a ball-playing centre-back. He can drift on forward if he needs to be, and Lascelles can be the rock at the back. And behind them, I would obviously have Manquillo on the bench. Fernandez and Lejeune, I'd put them both on. We'll probably, like, you would look at it and say we don't need two centre-backs on the bench, like, because we're probably going to suffer for it further up the field. But if the four at the back isn't working, which I'm kind of expecting it, I think if we go 1-0 down, Brucey might shit the bed a bit and just revert back to five at the back straight away. So one is precaution in case an injury happens to Lascelles or Shaw, and another one to cover for when we inevitably go back to five at the back. Like, I can see that happening a mile off. Even when we haven't needed to, Brucey just likes to bang on defenders. Like, remember when we were 2-0 down at Everton? We made 3 defensive substitutes. Like, what, are you trying to hold out for this 2-0 defeat, are you, Brucey? Like, I know obviously it worked out well, but I'm sure at Arsenal away, like, he was making defensive changes and stuff, and like, I don't know what his game is, but I would definitely have them on just as precaution. I'd rather have a more stacked defensive bench than trying to go forward, because I think we're going to put more attacking players in the starting lineup. And obviously Richie will go in there as well, who can cover for left back as well as an attacking option. He can always also be used as a winger as well. So Richie's got that versatile option there, cover for left back and left wing, or right wing. He's versatile. Up top there, I'm just going to bang them all in there. And what I would like to see, which I'm feeling is unlikely, I want to see Hayden. If Bentleb starts ahead of Hayden, I'm going to fucking go Akabusi. I cannot fathom it. It just doesn't make sense. Like, Hayden's been our best player, most consistent player this season. And since Bentleb's come in, he kind of get a sniff. I don't know if something's going on with contracts. I would imagine that's going to be my excuse anyway. Like, I can imagine, I don't know, maybe he's Bentleb's got a better agent or something. Like, if you look at the wage list, Hayden's one of our least paid players, but yet he's one of our best and most consistent. So that's something not adding up for me there. Like, I don't know what's going on, but since Bentleb's come in, he hasn't missed a game. He started every single game he's come in. I can only imagine that there's a clause in the contract that he wasn't getting the games at Schalke, so he's having to come play. His agent saying that he needs money. Things going on behind the scenes more than we realise. Like, football's corrupt. Like, Brucey probably hasn't got a choice. Actually, he's probably just saying, I've made an agreement with his agent. He needs to play X amount of games or X amount of minutes. He has to play. and Hayden suffering because of it. Honestly, Isaac Hayden, get yourself a new agent, mate. Get yourself a pay rise and make sure that you're getting more game time, because it's a fucking joke that Isaac Hayden's losing his spot to Bentaleb. So beside him, the Longstaff brothers, I think that dynamic would work really, really well, with Hayden sitting deep. Matty can be used as the more forward-pushing player, and Sean can cover the middle ground. He can be like a more box-to-box. He's comfortable both defensively and going forward, Sean. So I think that would work really, really well. In a defensive-minded one, an attacking-minded one, and a middle ground one. I think that's a perfect dynamic. I think that would work really, really well. I think the Longstaff brothers work well together. Sean Longstaff's been picking up his game time lately, his performances lately. He's had a poor season, but lately it has been getting better. And Matty Longstaff, I really want to see more of him. He deserves to be in. He's literally one of our best players. Like, when he plays, he puts in so much effort. His energy, running around like a little Rottweiler. He's fucking mint, man. I'm good to see he's had no game time lately, but obviously that's probably down to Bentaleb's appearances now as well. And up top, of course, obviously, Almiron, Saint-Maximin and Joe Linton. Joe Linton sticking up top. There's been a lot of talk about Gale starting this week. For me, I would stick with Joe Linton. I don't think we need to persevere with him. That was one of our questions on our Q&A last week. Me and Renty answered this. Pardon me. Do a couple of losses with Joe Linton or persevere? I think persevere all day long. I think we need to. You can see there's a player there. He's just obviously not a striker, which we're probably going to get into later on when I go through the other formations. He's not an out-and-out striker, and playing up top by himself with no help, it's obviously not helping. He's not getting the chances. He's not scoring goals. Like, honestly, if Alan Shearer was playing this team right now, he'd have more goals, but he wouldn't be like that much better off. That's what I'm saying. I think at this point in the season, if Shearer was there, he'd probably only be on about 7 goals. He wouldn't. I doubt he'd be in double figures. They're just not getting enough service to the strikers, and obviously Joe Linton, Brucey admitted last week that he's not a goal scorer. He's not a number 9. But I don't think persevere with him. I think it could help, like, especially if we've got 3 in the middle, in midfield with Matty pushing on. I think there's more attacking intent there. I definitely think we can push forward and get some more goals. But I'll go into the other ones now, and I think this one's the most probable. I wouldn't be surprised to see this one. 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Bentaleb. I'm thinking more logically. Bentaleb's probably going to start. Hayden dropping to the bench, as well as Matty suffering for only having the 2 in the middle instead of the 3. So Sean and Bentaleb in the middle, which we've been playing for the last few weeks, and to be fair, not really worked. We've haven't really had nothing in the middle, but this is what I'm thinking of anyway. With Saint-Maximin on the right and Julian on the left. I think we've seen a little bit of that in training. The video that they released yesterday on the YouTube, that's kind of how they looked like they were attacking in some of the training drills. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this formation in the slightest. Julian playing out left, he played a little bit there when we played at Turf Moor in December. Did all right. Didn't set the world alight, but it wasn't a poor performance by any means. Almiron down the middle, where he belongs, the number 10. Really, really need to say that. And Gale up top, which we've been speaking about. I can see this happen. I think this is definitely the most likely. Gale up top, Julian on the left, Miggy number 10, Saint-Maximin on the right, Longstaff and Bentaleb in the middle. Hayden and Matty dropping to the bench. I'll mention Shelby as well. Obviously, the talk this morning is that Shelby's back. He's trained for the last 10 days or so. But I'm looking at what options are, and some people have to suffer. Shelby hasn't played in a while. Like, he's probably not match fit, whereas the others have been playing a little bit more. I'd rather see Matty on the bench, probably. And obviously, Longstaff, Bentaleb and Hayden are Brucey's main men at the minute. So Shelby's missing out on a place for me, as well as Muto, who in the training drills actually looked kind of good. He's putting loads of finishes away, but nah, Muto might get a spot on the bench, but then someone else is going to have to suffer, probably Matty Longstaff. I don't know if we'll play this formation, and Christian Atsu may be included in the squad. We've got no wide players there, so depending on Atsu's fitness, he could get in as well. This is why this has been so hard. Like, we've got players, Muto, Shelby and Atsu, that are missing out, And if it's not them, it's going to be Matty. It's going to be possibly Hayden, Sean, Bentaleb, Gale. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's really, really been hard. And on to the last one, the third one, the probably unlikely one, but we could match Sean Dyche and Gannon with a shithousery 4-4-2, which, to be honest, I wouldn't even mind seeing. I'm a stickler for an old 4-4-2. I'm old-fashioned as fuck, me. I would like to see this with Sean Longstaff and Bentaleb in the middle as well. Almiron on the right, Maximin on the left, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. That's how we've been playing lately. Almiron's left-footed, Maximin's right. So it'd be good to switch them up. Like, people used to do that back in the day. I think, like when Giggs and Ronaldo played for Man United, like, they often used to switch wings. So I'd be quite happy to see that. With Joe Linton up top with Dwight Gale, the little and large combo. I like that. Big guy, little guy. Joe Linton flicking onto Gale. Gale nip in behind, finish it off. Gale did miss a sitter, didn't he, against Burnley at Turf Moor? I can't remember who it was, crossed it in, but he was just there at the near post, about a yard away, and he still put it wide. Like, one of the misses of the season, that for me, like, absolute shocker. But we're not Bruce is a fan, so we'll likely see Gale at some point, even if it's from the bench. He did make his comeback last week off the bench against Crystal Palace. So there's options there. There's definitely some options there. Formations, players. We've got more players than we know what to do with for a change. So I'm torn tomorrow. Like, I've got no idea what we're going to do. I've just given you 3 possible lineups there. Either one could happen. Players like Yamuto, Shelby's, Atsus, Matty Longstaff, Hayden, Gale. Who knows where they're going to feature, if they feature at all. In the preview, we did mention that we're not looking forward to this game. I think a 2-0 defeat's probably looking likely, unfortunately. I hate being this pessimistic. It gets us down. Like, I don't like being this negative. I'm usually the one that tries to see light at the end of the tunnel when people are, like, constantly being too negative. It pisses me off, and I like to call people out if they're being too negative about Newcastle, but I get it now. Maybe I was just a little bit behind. Maybe I was just a little bit too unrealistic. Like, I get it now. We're fucking shit. And against a team that's 5 games unbeaten in the league, I don't see it. I think, unfortunately, I think I've said it the last few weeks, a point will probably be all right. Like, 1 point's better than none, which I see we're getting. If we can scrape out a 0-0 or 1-1 in a game that I don't see we're winning, out of the moon. Happy days. Let me know what you think. What formation, what lineup would you choose? What do you think the score will be? Let us know. Like and subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV. Thanks for watching, everyone, and try and enjoy yourself.